The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the first day of May 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. I'm smiling again. How are you feeling? How's everybody feeling? It's some of you all call it in the audience. You say it's Friday Junior. Yeah, it's Friday Junior. It is the day before the last day of the traditional work week. By the way, I don't think, how many of you work a traditional work week? Just real quickly before we get into anything, like how many people still work like a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5? Because the more I speak to people, the more I'm learning it's not as traditional as it once was. And then there are some people who work for companies where they work from home like once a week at least. But anybody out here still work like a traditional Monday to Friday, 9 to 5? Let me know. Karen Simmons says, good morning, TDH community, and a good morning to you, Karen Simmons. Yes. Happy to have you here. And folks, go ahead. It's early. Go ahead. Make sure you give a like, love, follow, share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Make sure they are tuned in for this conversation and episode of the Daily Hour. So Karen Simmons says, no, she doesn't work a traditional Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 gig. Okay. Headline Swan says, me. Well, you know, Headline, I don't know now, because you say you're late for work sometimes. I don't know. I don't know if that's considered traditional if you don't go on time, right? But she says Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Well, yeah, some things won't change. Some organizations will stay put, but yeah, let's get into it though, folks. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making this part of our daily routine. Your daily routine, sorry. A good one today as we welcome Sophia Cannonier on. We've got a lot to discuss with Ms. Cannonier, so really looking forward to the conversation. The Daily Play is a name that place. All right, let's see who's traveler per se. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Here's your daily discussion question. Courtesy of Titan Express and Secure Trucking. And someone's already put the question up, right? Sean Smith says, good morning, everyone. Happy Labor Day. And this is where we're going today. It is May Day. May 1st represents International Workers' Day and also known as Labor Day in many countries, including throughout the UK. So what are your thoughts on the role of unions in 2025? We're going to start with that. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the role of unions in 2025? And just a yes or no here. Do you believe unions are still relevant today? Do you believe unions, labor unions, are still relevant today? Just a simple yes or a simple no. Nicole Walker also said, good morning. Yes, she still works at traditional Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Okay. And Suzanne Ingham, while you are getting ready to respond, says, super awesome Thursday, Jamel. All righty. So do you believe labor unions are still relevant today? And also, what are your thoughts on the role of unions in 2025? Sean Smith says yes. Nicole Walker says yes, they are. Traveling Charlie says yes. Karen Simmons says yes. All right, keep it coming, keep it coming. But what are your thoughts on the role of unions in 2025? That's where it gets interesting, because you all don't like to explain stuff because you're afraid of what people are going to say and afraid of probably losing your jobs. They can't fire me. But what do you think the role of unions is in 2025? I actually wrote some things down and I don't know where they are, so forgive me. But I'll just tell you now, and I'm happy for anyone to disagree. I believe that there will always be a role for unions. I believe whether we like what the unions currently do or not is neither here or there as far as what we believe they should be doing in terms of, let me give you an example. In 2025, now I'm not a union member, so I don't know what all goes on in unions outside of what they have on their websites and outside of what they share publicly via various mediums, right? But in 2025, in Bermuda in particular, I'm pretty sure union membership has shrunk. But my question is, when you look at the state of the economy, and I don't know if legally or policy-wise they can do some of these things, but instead of being so heavily reliant on government and financial assistance, my hope would be that unions could offer some sort of unemployment benefit for a specific amount of time, like they do in the United States. Not unions in the United States, but there's an unemployment benefit in the United States. But my hope is that they can offer their members who may get laid off or whatnot and let go a specific amount of time as an unemployment benefit. Another thing is healthcare is through the roof. I just saw another article or read something where people are struggling and creating GoFundMe's. I would love to see unions have some sort of supplemental health for their members. What do you all think of those two things, an unemployment benefit and supplemental health? Another thing is teaching their members transferable skills, right? So let's say a union member was a bartender in the hotel for years, hotel shuts down. Have training courses where you can now teach them, okay, they know about alcohol or liquor. Let's see if they can go and work for one of the distributors because they know the inside outs about that. So teaching them merchandising skills or sales skills to sell it. What are your thoughts, audience? Those are 3 ideas I had as to, my thoughts of unions in 2025, because what unions were doing back in the 80s and the 70s probably is it's very different from what we do today. So back then it was like, as Sean Smith says, literally protecting workers' rights. Now I think things have shifted. It's not just about protecting their rights, but also making sure that if they happen to lose a job legally, that they're protected, their health, that they can still be able to support themselves for an extended amount of time. But I don't want to tell everything because this is a brainstorming session. I'm pretty sure you guys have some ideas as well. What are your thoughts on the role of unions in 2025? WKD Lama says the role remains the same, protect workers. Well, that's not lame, but what was that quote Muhammad Ali said about being in the same place you are? I think it needs to evolve. Not just protect workers. Because that sounds like, well, while they're employed, we'll protect them. When they're not, they're on their own. I'm pretty sure that we can do more. We can evolve as a group and as a collective, and our unions can do more. Sean Smith says, continue to protect workers' rights. Yep. In addition to what, else they can possibly do. There's one to say, if my memory serves me correctly, the BIU offers something like unemployment pay, but it's not much, but it's something, right? And figuring out how long also. But I think my the number one thing I would love to see, and again, I don't know if it would be legal or something, legislation would have to be passed or policy-wise, what happens, but some sort of supplemental insurance could be of benefit for workers, because protecting workers, I mean, it shouldn't just be about protecting their job, but protecting their well-being, right? This is another one. Thank you for this, Sean Smith. He says the union should teach financial literacy to its members. I think it's a great suggestion, because while they're there to protect workers, at the end of the day, you can't protect people for what no longer exists. So let's say, again, a hotel shuts down, right? I said this, I've said this on the show before. Everyone's resume should always be updated, right? Because we just never know what can happen, right? So for me, I agree with that, is teach people how to, like, your job may not exist next year this time. I know it sounds like doom and gloom, but that's the reality, right? So make sure you have enough to cover yourself for 3 months, 6 months, while you're in the process of looking for something else. Financial literacy is very important. I agree. Charles H. Jeffs II says, much of what you are describing, Jamal, is what many associations do in the US, given that there's a stigma attached to the name union. Maybe the name association should be considered. Well, if I'm not mistaken, the Bermuda Public Services Union used to be BPSA when I was a child, right? It was Bermuda Public Services Association. Tell me if I'm wrong, audience. I think it was, right? And it became BPSU sometime in my childhood. Kenton Trott says labor unions are let me see, that's 100,000%. I didn't see the comma, man. You messed me up. 100,000% relevant today. I might be biased, but no one would have the benefits we continue to enjoy had it not been for the unions. No, I agree with all of that. We wouldn't have had the benefits we have today, right? What I'm saying is evolving. As in today's world, what can the unions do better? As I said earlier, the unions play a vital role. I think the question is, what are your thoughts on the role of unions today? Like, what can they do to help workers more? Like, protecting their jobs is one thing, but when they no longer have jobs, is the relationship just end, right? So again, my number one thing would be supplemental health insurance. I know someone said financial literacy. I like what Charles said in terms of associations. Suzanne Ingham says, I don't marches years ago. I think she means I done marches. When they marched, they got things done. They were resolved for the people and progress was seen. The bullying of the government stopped. Now the bullying of the people continues, and we the people are being silenced. The union always protected the people from being bullied. I wonder why it stopped. Karen Simmons says the role of labor unions needs to evolve. I don't think their evolution is stagnant. Training its current workers and those who are laid off. I agree with this. I think, again, I'll use the same example I gave earlier. That bartender who loses their job, I would love to see unions have some sort of training where they are teaching their members transferable skills. Like, take those bartending skills and let's now go be a salesperson for one of the distributors. You know about what they're selling, right? Or at least you should. Taj Donville Otterbridge says unions are still vital in Bermuda today. They spend a lot of time settling workplace disputes, which are very time consuming as they are frequent. This is true. There are things they do that would never make the newspaper. There are, and they do play a vital role. But again, how can we evolve? I think, again, there's more that can be done. From my perspective, again, I like the idea of the training. I love the idea of the financial literacy. I am gonna stick with mine, which is some sort of supplemental health insurance. Sean Smith says maybe get into the housing game for a way of affordable housing. That's a thing, because they do own properties. Well, at least one union I know does. Real estate, right? Yeah, that could be something that could help their members. Yeah, I like that. Suzanne Ingham says, Jamal, how do you have 3 months backup when most don't make ends meet daily, weekly, let alone monthly? There are numerous spaces where people tell you how to kind of lower your debt. One thing is, okay, while you're paying stuff or paying bills, put $2 aside, like stuff like that. I'm not an expert in finances, but Suzanne, there are people who show people ways to get it done. If the unions bring in experts that can help ensure that, then I'm sure that progress can be made. Taj Donville Autobridge says the membership would need to be much higher in order for them to evolve. And the question is, are people willing to pay more? I don't actually agree with Taj at the end of that. Sometimes it's not about are people willing to pay more, it's are those in charge willing to take less. We never talk like that. But hey, that's another show, as Oprah would say. What else, audience? What are your thoughts on the role of unions in 2025? And do you believe, well, I think we all believe that unions are still relevant. We all believe that. I'm pretty sure no one said no, right? I think we all get that. At least this audience. This audience believes that unions are still relevant today. But what are your thoughts on the role of unions in 2025? Let us know. What are your thoughts on unions in the role of unions in 2025? We've got WKD Lama. You are asking them to do things outside of their purpose. Other organizations could do these things. Am I, though? Am I? I mean, there are people who are in unions right now. I mean, I spoke to 2 union members this week. Oh, they don't fight for us. They don't do this. They don't do that. Da, da, da. Here's the thing. It's that comment reminds me of when someone says, well, that's not my job, right? That's not in my job description. And that's fair. But I think it's important to understand that we have to evolve. And part of evolving means that what was in your job description last week may have changed due to the company's direction. I think one of the things we have in a small town conservative community is thinking that an organization or a person's purpose has to remain the same. The needs of the people, the collective, the community, the society changes over time. It does. I mean, let's be honest. Hotel workers were represented very well by unions. We don't have as many hotel workers as we once did. So I don't think we're asking much for them to consider doing things outside of their scope or their purpose to enhance their relevancy amongst the collective. Kenton Trott says, as some of you may know, I am the chairperson of the Bermuda Police Association. There are so many things we do for members that no one knows about. Evolving is important and we must embrace change. Indeed, I knew that, Kenton. That's why I was happy when this question was suggested. I was like, he better show up today. Renee Simmons says, in today's world, unions can get more involved with the private corporate sector. IB can give its pitfalls and require representation from unions. Unions should encourage membership from IB. I'm glad you said that. Thank you for saying that, because now you've opened the door for me to say this. There are so many people in Bermuda who enter the IB space, and they work in that space for years, and they make a lot of money doing it, and props to them. But then after those many years, they become unemployable. Unemployable not because they're horrible or bad at their jobs, but because they're overqualified. And they lose these jobs not because they're bad either, but because of mergers, because of redundancies. They have a lifestyle that they're probably used to that they can no longer uphold. I wonder what role the union can play if people in that space believed or understood the worth and value of unions. I think one of the biggest misconceptions we have is that unions are only for blue collar workers or workers that are paid lower than corporate. I think that's why you don't see the representation in IB, Renee. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Canton Trott says, I think one great thing about the current unions is that they have formed a Congress where all unions meet regularly. That way we can share ideas and meet the needs of members. Thank you so much for that, folks. Hey, audience, if you haven't already, whatever platform you're on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, or Instagram, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Hey, and I'll end it with this. Sean Smith, says, you add those additional functions in your annual performance appraisal. This way you can possibly negotiate a wage increase. Yeah. And Ken Trust says, as we are talking about now, if more private sector understood and embraced the unions, they would evolve faster. Indeed. Folks, we are going to give thanks to Secure Trucking and Titan Express. And then we've got Maya coming up with your Daily Hour News Break.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All right, let's bring Maya in for your Daily Hour News Break. Don't forget, we've got Sophia Cannonier coming up after the break.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, M to the P. How are you?
I'm feeling pretty good this morning. A little tired, but excited about today's discussion and show.
Yeah, but I got to tell you something. Guess what I did yesterday?
You went to the beach.
How do you know?
I just saw it on your WhatsApp story.
Oh, what else did I do yesterday then?
I don't know. That's all I saw. I didn't click it.
I went to yoga. Tiffany, I went to yoga at Treehouse. And folks, I'm going to say this. There's just some things that the man's body should not be doing.
Oh, please.
Well, this old goat. I mean, Tiffany, I'm coming back. That's how, yeah, I'm coming back next week. I will be back, but your boy was a little, you know, yeah, it was work, Maya.
It was humbling, right?
Yeah, man, I couldn't do certain things, Maya. I was like, no, you old man yoga seemed so chill and breathing, and it was. And Tiffany was a great instructor. So, folks, Treehouse, anybody want to join me next week? And I didn't know. I purposely didn't tell Maya because I was like, nope. Want her bringing the damn camera around there or nothing, you know what I'm saying? And then you all seeing me and making fun. Nope, we ain't doing that. So, but then Tiffany's like, let's take a picture. I'm like, okay, so I guess I got to tell everybody I went. So she don't tell them first. But then I didn't go to the beach, Maya. So I put my feet in the water, like where the fish are. I put my feet in that. Yeah, it wasn't.
Well done.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
You should have went all the way in, especially after yoga. Salt water's good for the body.
Oh, all the way in, huh? That was not on the agenda to even put my feet in. But okay, Maya, maybe I'll consider that next time.
It's good for the muscles.
Okay.
Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay, the shower should be good for my muscles. What you got? What'd you do? Any fun yesterday? Come on, you had a busy day.
Yesterday was a pretty busy day for me. So I actually went to Temptations to get this one particular sandwich. But while I was there, I saw this huge ship that is at the docks right now, offloading a bunch of different sands. And I was just curious and looking at it and wondering, what's going on here? Because I don't think I've ever actually seen or witnessed this happen before. So went over, started talking to some of the trucker men, and then got pointed over to Mr. Wendell Eve, who works with SEL, Surface Experts Limited, formerly known as East End Asphalt. And yeah, got a pretty cool story out of that I'm here to present to you guys this morning.
Nice. But you didn't let us know. You said this sandwich you really like you're keeping the sandwich to yourself, so it's always one there for you. Like, can you share your sandwich?
I'll share it on Monday because that's when they ran out of the sourdough bread.
I'm not mad at her, folks. I'm not mad at her. If you like stuff, you gotta be careful. It's like your favorite loquat spot. Like you tell everybody you go and there's no loquats left. No, I got you.
I was so upset. I was like, oh, like we just ran out of the sourdough. I was like, all right, I'll come back tomorrow. So after this show, there's a first place I'm going.
And got her sandwich, folks. All right. So what you got?
All right, good morning, everyone. This is your Daily Hour News brought to you by the great people at People's Pharmacy. Reminder, Mother's Day is coming up May 11th, so make sure you go to People's Pharmacy, get your gifts, gift cards, gift certificates, greeting cards, all the gifts you could get for your moms right there because they really do have a lot of options. And don't forget, they're also open an hour later every day of the week. Okay, so let's start with your story this morning. Asphalt. It isn't just imported, it's made, and it's in high demand. Here's your story.
Once a year, a single ship from Halifax carries Bermuda's road repair hopes. On board, 10,000 metric tons of material that makes asphalt.
Where's
This
our
asphalt,
story?
sand, stone, and
Is it not running up on the screen?
Not
once a
mine.
year, a single ship from Halifax carries Bermuda's road repair
Nope, I don't
hopes.
see a story.
On board, 10,000 metric tons of material
Anyone
that
see a story?
All right, audience, did you see a story just now pop up or did that not happen? I see a nod in the background that it popped up.
Oh.
Everyone else give me a yes or no, because maybe it's just you, Jamal.
Oh, maybe it's just my screen. Well, continue with your story.
Is everyone seeing it there? Yes, it's running. Okay, great. Lovely. All right, let's jump back into it. Starting off saying it one more time. Asphalt isn't just imported, it's made and it's in high demand. Here's your story.
Once a year, a single ship from Halifax carries Bermuda's road repair hopes. On board, 10,000 metric tons of material that makes asphalt. This asphalt sand, stone, and concrete sand, which is carefully packed, offloaded, and trucked to one of just two asphalt plants on the island, the only one that's currently operational after the government's existing plant was put out of action in 2023. Surface Experts Limited, formerly Eastern Asphalt, takes those raw materials with the help of local private trucking companies and creates Bermuda's asphalt. The company handles private roads and some government public works. You may have already driven on one of their projects, like the runway at LF Wade International Airport while on board a plane, which was a particularly tedious project as paving for a plane landing is not the same as your typical driveway. For each project, the asphalt must be pressure tested with compaction tests. Creating asphalt is as much a science as it is an art. The process involves heating a mix of materials to exact temperatures. Get it wrong, and the product fails. Temperature is everything.
As asphalt, everything needs to be hot. So ideal temperatures to lay it is no less than 250, no more than 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's more than 350, it starts to burn. If it's under 250, it's hard to work with and gets cooled.
Every truck is weighed before departure to ensure accuracy, and every batch is tested for temperature. If it cools too much on the way to a job site, it's rejected, then recycled. As I came to understand it, laying asphalt is like baking the perfect souffle.
Once it leaves here, your job site needs to be prepped and ready to travel. When the trucks travel with their asphalt, it's always covered, and that helps retain the heat.
Speaking with Randy Rochester, CEO of Surface Experts Limited since 2023, it's clear he's made it a priority to hire young Bermudians, bringing fresh energy into a trade that has no formal training pipeline. However, although a priority, it's not always the reality.
We're having challenges right now because we've been workforce development. We've also been to the Department of Parks to see if they have any of their skills development teams that are willing to help out. But we haven't been successful in securing any staff so far, and that's been our major challenge.
Staffing is a major hurdle. With only 10 to 11 crew, SEL needs more skilled operators. But CEO Randy Rochester says Bermuda simply doesn't have them.
It's not an SEL problem. It's systemic across the island at this point.
Bermuda's roads weren't always this bad. Experts say streets should be completely resurfaced every 10 to 12 years. But this hasn't happened. Years of government priorities like housing, healthcare, infrastructure pushed our roads further down the list.
You really can't blame the government because this has been systemic for many years now. Successive governments have come in and priorities have been shifted from here to there. So now I think this current administration is realizing that this is a problem. So now they're trying to do a blitz to attack this, and SEL are willing and ready to assist.
Their next public project, the Floor Duffy Hill, formerly known as the Old Corkscrew, which is scheduled to begin this month. For now, the work continues with each truckload of materials weighed, every layer of heat checked, and as the constant demand for asphalt rises, these crews are focused on a tedious task of laying down the perfectly tested and accurate asphalt that will last a decade, and not just until the next heavy downpour. It's definitely a time task that takes time.
Thanks for that. We unpacked so many things in there. um, there's so many problems to solve in that one story, audience.
What's even funny is that we haven't even gone into some of the deep, like, understanding each different type of material and understanding exactly how long they get to each project, how many workers they need for each project, the different types of operations. And like, there's more to come from this story because they are in desperate need of workers. Like, obviously we all know that the need to fix our roads is there, but we just don't have the people right now to make it come to fruition. They've had to actually source out new persons from Jamaica, as there's no qualified people in Bermuda. The gentleman that you saw who also spoke to me first, Marcus, he came on the job, has been there for about 8 months. They sent him away to get training and then to come back because they saw that he, was willing, able, wanted to, sent him away to get the training to come back to be able to help run the plant.
Yeah.
So it's that type of business where like you have to train on the job.
I'm not trying to make this political, but I appreciate this story for this as well. We can get told by government that this and that about the roads not being paved, but it's nothing like going to the actual sources, the private entities that at the end of the day, they do the work, right? They have the, they're going to go more in depth with you and let you know, well, look, this is what we have, this is what we need, this is what the result of where we are, right? That, I think, thank you for that. I hope, well, the audience, we've got Tamara Richardson. What a great story. Thank you, Maya. So informative. And lessons about water issues facing society. Great story, says Sean Smith and Rosalind Famous. Great story, Maya. Thank you. Well done, says Wendell Eve. And great story. Science involved, the hidden components to this job. Yeah, it is. I'm looking forward to more, learning more. But yeah, I still want to know about that sandwich. So next Monday, when we continue this, hopefully we'll hear about the sandwich, folks.
All right, everyone. So this is your weather for this morning. Look like plenty of sunshine, increasing some clouds later on in the evening, but we shouldn't be seeing any rain. It's going to be a high of 72, and it's going to be a sports day out there today at National Stadiums as well. So I'm excited to go there and watch that with one of my younger cousins. So hopefully everyone's outside enjoying this weather because it's supposed to be good.
All righty. Thank you for that. I actually brought all this good energy and weather to Bermuda, or Maya did. One of us, we came to the same. But anyway, look, it's a lot today, Maya. So it's Learn to Ride a Bike Day. It's World Password Day. It's School Principals Day. It's National Purebred Dog Day. Can I go on? It's Save the Rhino Day. It's Couples Appreciation Day. Need I go on? It's Black Barbershop Appreciation Day.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's Global Love Day.
Oh.
It's New Homeowners Day.
Okay, there's a lot going on today.
Frequent Flyer Day. It's Executive Coaching Day. It's Therapeutic Massage Awareness Day. It's Loyalty Day. It's School Bus Driver Day. I'm not finished. It's Thank You Thursday. It's International Doodle Dog Day. And it's May Day, International Workers' Day, Law Day, Stop Snoring Week, and Day of Prayer. I don't think I'm going to go into any of those.
Honestly, don't even try. That's a lot. That is a lot going on today. Pick one with it, whatever works best for you.
Yeah, pick one of those days, folks. It's something to celebrate. Maya, thank you so much. We're going to take a break and come back. We've got Sophia Cannonier. You don't want to miss this conversation, folks. See you soon, MP.
Bye.
All right, Maya Palacio there, folks. Don't go anywhere. In the meantime, give us a like, love, follow, share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We'll be back after this break.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Attention home renovators and design lovers, your dream space starts here. The brand new Kohler retail showroom at BAC Group is now open, bringing you up to 35% savings on all Kohler products at U.S. manufacturer suggested retail prices. That means no extra fees, no freight, no wharfage, no duty, no document processing fees, just pure cutting-edge Kohler design at unbeatable value. From sleek kitchen and bathroom faucets, vanities, toilets, to statement sinks, walking tubs, and spa-worthy bathtubs, BAC brings innovation and luxury within reach. Visit the BAC showroom on Mill Creek Road today for style, quality, no surprises. Just color from BAC.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Welcome back to The Big Show. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Before I go any further, I want you all to do us a favor. Do us a big favor. Whatever platform you're on, be it Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, it costs you nothing. Literally, just 5 seconds. Like, love, follow, share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Some of you got your WhatsApp open, watching on your phone. Share it with your WhatsApp friends and family. But let's beat the algorithm. Let's beat the algorithm this morning, and let's give a warm TDH welcome to our very special guest this morning. We've got Sophia Cannonier. Welcome. I with all due respect, they're cheering for you like that this morning, but I mean, they don't usually do that for you, not in public. No, that's crazy. Well, first of all, Sophia, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for always being open and making yourself available to have conversations. And before we got started, and I kind of mentioned before you came on, and I really wanted to address you sooner than today about this, but I had a very humbling conversation back in February with someone who I consider a friend, a coach, mentor, and I had pretty much latched on to what I guess the energy around the island was, especially after the clip that went wrong with you and Trevor Lindsay. And I wanted to apologize to you because I said what I said publicly, because what was said or said to me at the time was, no, she's doing nothing different from what you did. And the same way how people called you guys, Bermudians Against the Draft, every name in the book, crazy, this and that, like that's simply what's happening to her. And it's not because you are, but it's because people don't agree with you. And because they don't agree with you, because of how you go about doing things, you're the crazy person or the nut and so on. And that was humbling that I'm very serious when I say I am intentional about surrounding myself with people who hold me accountable. But I apologize for really not even understanding. And then there was a tweet, and I shared this on this show. There was a tweet where Sumner, Robert Sumner, who's also a comedian, he said on May 14th, say what you like about Sophia Cannonier, but at least she has the guts to stand up to the folks everybody else lays down for, right? And it took me back to something that the late Pastor Ronnie Smith said to me when he came around Hot 107.5 when I was working there. And he said, you know, Kamal, which he called me, he just didn't want to give the J thing, but he said, Kamal. Many people who criticize you and go against you have never and will never fight for anything in their lives. He didn't agree with me, but he respected my right to express myself about a law that I deemed unjust. And so I responded to that tweet by saying, I'm conflicted with this. While I do believe that some of the stuff that you do may be over the top, having fought similar causes in an aggressive manner, I get her, I get you. It's easy for those who've never risked anything in terms of social justice to criticize and question others who have. So I want to start, after all that, I know I said a lot, by just simply asking you, who is Sophia Cannonier beyond what people perceive you or who people perceive you to be?
Thank you very much, Jamal, for that. And good morning, Bermuda. I love you very much, and I do everything for my country and for my people. Who is Sophia Cannonier? First of all, I'm a mother of 3, and I move from there. I move from my heart. Where do you want to start, Jamal? I have been a mover all my life. From the age of 2, I was a ballet student, and then I became Bermuda's first member of the Dance Theater of Harlem, a Black ballet company in New York in 1989. So I made history. I then decided that I was not going to only be a dancer, and I needed to have a career transition in place before the end of my dance career. I toured the world with the Dance Theater of Harlem. So I decided to become a Pilates instructor and a teacher trainer and a massage therapist. And I did that at the age of 18. And so I had a career transition. I was a massage therapist as well as a Pilates instructor. Decided to relocate back home to Bermuda from New York, and met my husband, Michael, who also loves Bermuda and does everything for his country. And then it was time to have children. And personally, I was born at home in Warwick on Cedar Hill. And my mom said, why don't you have a hospital birth? And I said, well, I was born at home. I'd like to have a home birth. So we had 3 home births, and I researched the home birth movement in 2004. And that was sort of my first rodeo. From there, you have to educate these children. So my husband and I chose the hard path, but the very beautiful path of homeschooling and unschooling our children. And as I learned from the dance world, if you want anything, you have to push for it, and you have to push hard. So the reason why my children are so successful is because they pushed, and we gave them that really great start. So my son is now on a lifetime contract with the Royal Ballet Company. My daughter is about to sign with the English National Ballet School, upper level training, and our youngest is about to go to the Legat Dance Academy in the UK. So the hard thing that I find is staying still. So this has been a really hard transition this morning from a 6 a.m. stretch class that I do online to sitting still and waiting for your interview.
You said stretch, and immediately I felt yesterday's yoga pain. But
yes, good for you, Jamal. I was cheering you on. And yay, Treehouse.
Thank you. But no, you said a lot, and a lot of what you said was what, and I'm just going to say, Black people actually want to strive toward. Homeschooling our children. You know, you see all these quotes now, and sending your children to your enemy to be educated, stuff like that. You see people struggling to get their children in spaces where your children are thriving. Nothing that you said just now was done without sacrifice. But I want to touch on something and go here because Kia Renee BDA said, Sophia's clip from the election really gave me a good insight of where Bermuda is mentally and spiritually to date. And I remember Trevor, who I have nothing but love for and respect, he was speaking with you and you said to a gentleman, I did this for you. And the whole Bermuda reacted. You did that for you. And it took me, when someone mentioned it to me, well, when you were fighting conscription, it wasn't just for you. It was so that young men wouldn't have to go anymore. But if I said that to people, oh, you did that because you didn't want to go. Can you explain, like, just go in depth of what you meant to really, you may not change minds, but I hope people are, open enough to understand what you meant when you said you did it for them. Because I think people have very narrow minds to think, oh, you're talking about COVID. This is bigger than that.
Huge. Well, everything I do is people driven. Everything. From just the way I live, the way I nourish myself, the way I study, and experience is the best teacher. So I was asked to go into politics. So I said, sure, I've never done that before. Let's find out how that is from the inside. Boop, got my eyes wide open. So that particular situation did come from my heart when I knew about this COVID coming. I decided to actually get the virus myself and experience that. I knew it was not for real from the very beginning. Remember, I have been in the health profession for a very long time and the birth world. So I had firsthand experience of actually the inside of how these systems work. So decided to get COVID, the story you've heard before. That's a whole nother episode. And so when I said that I did that for you, to that gentleman, I actually did it for my family first. And I did it for myself because I was inquisitive to say, well, wait a second. When a virus, when people come across a virus, you normally get the virus and then you get the antibodies that will help protect you and give you immunity. And this is like 200 years old information. So I did have the antibodies and I did do that for myself. Then I did it for my family because we were not going to stay in a hotel. And I can talk about that in a whole nother episode. And when I said that to the gentleman, I said, I meant it for namely all of humanity, right? Because you understand that a virus does not work like that. So I knew this from the core. And so when he said that, it was like a reality check that, okay, not everybody is going to get that, Sophia. And you have to take a few steps back because you may think that you're doing everything that, was good and should have been well received. And I was fighting for you and really wanted to help people understand the truth. So, it was a reality check for me. And sometimes I do live in my own world. And I really, like I said, I love Bermuda. And I really want to make it a better place. And I thought I was standing for people. But
But why do you believe, from where you stand, the bubble in your lonely place, however you just described it, why do you believe people don't support your efforts? Like, is it a misunderstand? Like, are they not understanding you, or are you not explaining well enough for them to understand where you're coming from?
well, I do believe people support, and I do believe people understand. And the I can't walk down the street, I can't go to the grocery store
Mhm.
or anywhere without someone saying, "Thank you, Miss Cannonier. I
Mhm.
really appreciate everything that you did." I mean, I just got my car passed yesterday, and the gentleman said, "You know, you've done so much for us," and it really blows me away, because there are forces that keep, you know, news, the media, the interaction with TNN.
Mhm.
You know, all of those are learning life lessons, really.
Mhm.
I'm not bothered by the people
Mhm.
who bring that energy. I learn from the people who bring that energy, and my objective is to help our country and to help the world be a better place.
Indeed.
I just hold that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I feel. And again, to me, it's so easy to disagree and put people in boxes. I think it takes more courage to try to understand them, and really, even after understanding doesn't equate to agreement. But I think the dismissiveness that we currently have in our community, and it almost seems like a popularity thing. Oh well, this person thinks this person's crazy. I do too, without even trying to. It's a weird space. But I want to move on real quickly. And audience, if you have any questions, please send them through. We have a tight timeline, but um, you had a court case in 2024 regarding COVID. Are you able to update us on your court, like the appeal? Like, are you still appealing it, and what does that look like?
Sure. The court case started in 2021, and it has continued. And uh, the judgment from that natural immunity case came in as guilty,
Mhm.
and because of it was in magistrate's court,
Mhm.
and so we appeal. We are in the process of appeal now, and it's looking positive, because experience is the best teacher, and you've got to be in it to understand what's happening. The update is that I think the world has now caught up with why we did what we did, and justice will be served.
All right. I want to shift back to politics because you were a candidate in the February 2025 election. Um, you kind of touched on it a bit earlier, but why did you decide to run in the general election and with the One Bermuda Alliance in particular?
Good question. So I was asked by the Imperial Group, Eugene, Dean, Gladwin, and Corin, uh, if I was interested in representing a certain constituency within the OBA, because unity in the community is what we're about, and people pulling together, and that I had an interest in learning how this country works from the inside. So I said yes. And I've never done it before, and I'm always keen to try new things. I have a voice. I have definitely passion for making change happen. And I have a lot of endurance, a lot of stamina, a lot of strength, and a courage. And I think that all of those qualities that I have and that I work on a daily basis really help me put my foot in that game.
What did the experience teach you? Like, what did you learn from that political experience recently?
That everyone is very disorganized,
Mhm.
and that we really do need to all pull together. There are some really lovely people who really mean well, who want our community to be the best. But there's a lot of ego, and there's a lot of just, there needs to be more follow through, and there needs to be much more courage to speak up and to actually do what you say you're going to do and push all those things that I learned from the dance world. So that's what I noticed. And when you do speak up and when you do have the courage to say something, it's not liked. So you have to kind of toe the line, and I'm not a line tower.
Well, you've been fighting. I told you, I remembered you when I was at Hot 107.5, and it was the first time I heard of what a doula was. And you've been fighting and really doing things differently from what's been normal for a while. What have you learned about yourself and your community as you've taken this path?
Great question. Well, to be a doula is to serve. So I've learned that I'm bigger. I'm representing something much more than myself. And that's what I learned also in the dance world. My director, Arthur Mitchell, who recently passed, always said, you are representing more than yourself. And I carry that with me. What I learned from the way that our women and our children are cared for at birth really reflects on how the country is. So to go deeper into that, if we approach childbirth with fear and with not knowledge, or with just not understanding the process of childbirth and the way that we can actually be more at ease and to bring new life into the world in a more comfortable, loving, safe environment where the woman feels safe and secure. And that could be in a hospital, and it most definitely can be outside of a hospital. That's why doulas are present. And I started the doula trainings in Bermuda. I did about five, brought people here to do the doula trainings. I brought people here, midwives here. That's how my first burn at the stake. There were no Bermuda midwives who were on the register who could serve at home births. All the midwives are in the hospital under work permit, and they work for the hospital, and they have no malpractice insurance. And a whole nother episode, Jamal, we can talk about that. Yeah. So what I learned is that there's a lot of red tape, and that people, and you said it earlier, the needs of the people and the collective change all the time. And I've learned an unwillingness to change for the people, watching the way and being in that birth environment, just a total unwillingness. And now home birth is actually very condemned in Bermuda, but people still want it. Yeah. And I don't think people are listening. So meaning the medical community are not listening.
I would love to have I would love to have an entire conversation about that. Seriously, because when you look at the U.S., the amount of deaths with Black women giving birth, But real quickly, one question from the audience, because I know time's tight. College John Bridge says, I'd be interested to hear if Sophia plans to stay involved in frontline politics. I think Bermudian politics would benefit from her presence. I'm
in. You're not getting rid of me. I do have to pay attention to my children. They are. I'm like their agent. I have to. We're planning a beautiful performance, free performances this summer with Ravi and my daughter Vidya, and 6 of their friends from all over the many companies coming to Bermuda to share and to grow classical ballet again, or resurge that in Bermuda. So yes, I'm not going away from politics.
All right. One final question for you, Hedo. Sophia, there's a lot of people who are unhappy with the state of things in Bermuda. What advice would you give to people who are maybe afraid to lose their job, or they, for whatever reason, they're afraid to speak up? What would you say to them?
breathe, go and take care of yourself first. You're on the right path. Understand yourself, and then you can understand where you are. Like live more simply. Get in touch. You only have one body. Feed it well. You talked about alcohol earlier, and we really do need to take care of ourselves. And how can we take care of others if we don't take care of ourselves first? Find the courage. Find people. Like I mentor people all the time with finding the courage. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You must push forward and find your tribe. Find a group of people. I work with an amazing group who is open to having more people join the Imperial Group. We really do need to unify and pull together. So eat well, sleep well, reach out. Mental health, very important. Right after this, I have a therapy session. You have to talk it out. Stuff happens in everybody's lives, and we have to actually talk it out or move it out so that it doesn't stay in us, and we can actually make the next generation, lift them up and lift them. This is what we're here to do. Bring us forward. Bring Bermuda forward and be truthful.
Sophia, thank you so much. Again, we have so much more to talk about, so much more depth. We can go on various topics that you spoke on. But again, I am grateful for you always being open to confront whatever it is that we need to discuss. We'll definitely be in touch. Have a wonderful day in a therapy session. And yeah, talk soon.
Thank you.
Sophia Cannonier, folks. If you appreciated the conversation this morning, please give us a thumbs up. Like, love. I want to go to some comments real quickly. Richard Scott said, taking a stance often comes with criticism in the position of a sacrificial lamb. The irony is many of the critics feel the same, but hide behind the veil of fear and lack the courage to stand in front of the court of public opinion. Taj Bridge says, I will always respect Sophia having a strong conviction and standing on it, something most people don't have the stomach for. Bermuda is a tough place to have views that differ from the norm. Indeed. Dorian says, Sophia, respect it and thank you for your explanation. We've got Kia BDA says, Sophia's decision goes beyond the level of speaking up for Bermuda. It hits a gene pool DNA level, world level, and universal level. She will GNO what I'm talking about. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but it's not from me, I guess. We've got Sean Smith says, I pray for success in your court case and thank you for showing what strength looks like. We've got Dexter Smith who says, COVID wasn't real. How do you account for 7 million people disappearing from the face of the earth, more than any world war? And we've got Suzanne Ingham saying, you are always honest, so truthful. Alrighty, folks, we're going to take our final break, and you don't want to miss this. I'll wrap it up after this, and we've got a daily play that, well, it'll test your travel knowledge. Stick with us. We'll be back in a few. In the meantime, whatever platform you're on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, or Instagram, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like.
April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Children depend on every single caring adult in our community to make sure they are safe from sexual harm. Keeping them safe not just in April, but every day. Whether you're a parent, a guardian, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, or a caregiver, we ask that you take just 3 hours out of your busy schedule to learn what you can do to make sure the precious children in your life are protected. They are worth it. Join the SCARS certified adults by simply visiting our website to sign up for a free SCARS training session. Learn about online and body safety, how to protect them, and how to respond if they are harmed. This information is vital to their well-being and their future. Because they are children, it is our responsibility, Bermuda, to protect them. Visit scarsbermuda.com and learn what you can do to help the child in your life stay safe.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
BAC's new Kohler showroom is now open. Throughout April, for every $50 spent, your name will be entered to win great raffle prizes. Kohler from BAC, where luxury meets affordability.
Alrighty, welcome back. Thanks again to Sophia Cannonier for stopping by again, folks. If you appreciated the conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, and your colleagues. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House Lenders, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a regular basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Alrighty, are you ready? So name that place. We're not going too far around the world. What U.S. city is known as the Big Easy? All right, at the buzzer, we've got Renee Simmons said New Orleans. Is it I think I asked you all, is it New Orleans or New Orleans? What is it? New Orleans or New Orleans? But Mark Arthur C. Phillips also got it. Richard Scott got it. Jewel Lee got it. NOLA, that's for short. Rosalind Famous got it. Not New York. No Orleans. And I think she meant NOLA, not MOLA. And Mark Arthur C. Phillips, New Orleans. Yep. We got you. All right, folks, let's wrap it up. Got to let you all go. So look, your boy did yoga, and your boy put his feet in the fish's ocean. I'm trying to, do some things differently, folks. So work with me. Someone asked when I was going back to yoga. I think what was yesterday? Whatever day yesterday was. This started Wednesday, so probably next Wednesday. So hopefully you all can join me. And cameras away. We don't need anything going viral about how something popped or anything like that. All right. So cameras away. But as far as the discussion this morning, I think unions should always have a place as long as there's employees. But I was puzzled earlier that no one mentioned how AI will impact unions. And I think when we speak about unions, we have to speak about them in a space where they have to evolve. They need to evolve because the truth is there's going to be less and less workers. So they have to find a way to ensure that they are more and more relevant, right? We appreciate what they've done, but the focus should be on what they currently do and what they need to do to evolve, to meet the growing demands of the job market and its employees or workers. As far as the conversation with Sophia, look, I just really, I said something at the Daily Hour 5-year anniversary gala. And what I said was, an echo chamber is a dangerous place for us to live, right? We live in a very dangerous time where we are so dismissive of those who think differently from us. I am very serious when I say this. Anyone is welcome into this space. I don't own this space. I host here. But this is our space together. And I don't have to agree with you to have a conversation with you. But what I must do as the host is remind myself, and sometimes you all have to remind me, to have humility. Because people are fighting different battles. And just because you don't agree or don't understand doesn't necessarily mean they're crazy or they're a nut or however you want to explain it. Especially, as I've told you before, that most of you use devices every day that were created by a person who was also deemed crazy in Steve Jobs because he was different. or that sounded insane, or it's impossible. People like Sophia Cannonier, like or not, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, may be actually seen as the people who were on the right side of history. We don't know. But what I will say, there are a lot of people in our community who thrive on popularity, and they're loud. And I want you to leave you with this, if nothing else. You don't have to be loud or popular to be effective. Here's your daily inspiration for the day. Well, hold on, let me get it for you. Daily inspiration for the day is a quote from Tim Howard. He is a former Manchester United and Everton football player, and he played for the United States men's football national team. He said, winning is fun, but those moments that you can touch someone's life in a very positive way are better. Take from that what you will. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.